So, yes, that was the title sequence animation as well as brand new intro music that was completely built from the ground up. So, if you're like, whoa, what is this set? What is all of this? This is the podcast studio, and I'm releasing a podcast. I'm starting a podcast called SLEW, and it's dropping August 11th. If you've been following the channel, you know about this. I've been teasing it pretty much for the last 2 months that I've moved in here. But also, I've been wanting to make a long-form show, video show, podcast for the last 2 years. Roll the clip. It's August 18th, 11:32 at night, 2019. Foreshadowing. Maybe 2 years down the road, I want to have a podcast. And I'm trying to manifest this. I forgot when that was from, sometime in 2019. So it's been my desire for a while. Finally, it's getting together. This podcast studio, hiring Chris, my homie who's producing the podcast, also helping me with a lot of other things within my business, was the biggest new venture in this studio move. But we're moved in, so I could stop finally talking about it. But it's always really exciting for me to work with my friends who are professionals also. So visual graphics, Lorenzo, who's a professional, this other new homie I met, Aaron, who's a professional musician, and this is what the podcast is about. The show is about creative professionals and picking the brains of young artists and entrepreneurs and creatives. So releasing August 11th, it's really exciting. And so that's it. What else did I want to say? What?
Like this, and then you go, or from there.
Oh, dude. All right, so I'm here with Lorenzo, who's a 3D animator, right? My friend. And what are we doing? Tell the people.
We are working on the Cyclops, as you can probably see it all around the studio. Iconic character from SLEW.
So this is going to be the logo. I mean, all the SLEW Cyclops for the podcast. So we're doing an intro, basically. Dude, wow, is that the computer that's so loud?
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, well, we're going to need you to work for no pay for 6 to 8 hours. I'll be back, all right?
Okay.
In the works of making this 3D render of the Cyclops for the podcast intro, I wanted to go really ham with the podcast, everything custom, building from the ground up, not just the podcast, but all the digital assets, the logos, the banners, the animation, the intro music, every aspect that is able to be made from scratch, I want to do. So it's really exciting. So Lorenzo is my good pal, and he recently, throughout COVID, what'd you do? You started doing 3D animation. And now he's basically a professional, and it's an inspiring story as another creative. Yeah?
Yes.
But so we're gonna try to animate the Cyclops that we got. We basically, how do you say it specifically? We got polygon, ZBrush.
We just got a friend to sculpt it from scratch. So he's basically just literally taking clay and morphing it around. As you can see here, it's not a hard surface or a very jaggedy look or anything. It's super smooth because you're literally going with the brushes, chiseling it.
So
around.
Digital clay he sculpted, and now Lorenzo and I, mostly Lorenzo, are gonna
texture it,
do a bunch of crazy weird stuff
to
make it cool, and hopefully that will be the intro sequence, transparent animation for the podcast.
Hovers and goes in there because a fading is especially if it's a 2D element, and I look not centered.
And also if it's this small, the little sign is gonna be too small. I want the SLEWverse to eventually be big.
You zoom through the environment until it basically the camera. So here's the head. Here is it does make sense with the whole gist of the podcast. So SLEWverse,
sure,
you're creating a little universe,
and
it's coming out of the brain.
No, I like that.
SLEW.
No, I like
your
that.
Character.
I like that idea.
The embodiment.
So it's how are we going to visually represent that quote unquote universe?
Exactly.
All right. You want
so
this?
I'm thinking. Exactly.
But that whole concept of lifting the brain, having the universe, totally aligns with SLEWverse. I like that.
Wow.
Distance to go after the camera movement stops, which is kind of nice because I feel like it eases out the movement. Look. So, boom. We do some stuff, then come in.
Yeah.
And then it's very slightly.
Yeah, no,
it
I
stops
understand.
and then it's still.
All right, so an important thing that me and Lorenzo were talking about when, it's hard to translate my vision with his technique and the, miscommunication of actually kind of like executing something on the computer. So we were talking and trying to dissect the agenda of actually what we want, which is an intro title sequence. That's the agenda, to display SLEWniverse in some cool, creative, animated way, but that's the main agenda, without any more sprinkling or cherries on top. So to kind of like reverse engineer that idea and agenda, we want a title sequence, clear, simple, easy to read, 10 to 15 seconds before every podcast, or overlaid over every podcast. So when animating something super complex, which this Cyclops character is, with the brain moving and all this other stuff, we got to make sure to remember that core function of just displaying the title sequence. So we're trying to just go through all of the beats to hit those simple things, and it's working out. And Lorenzo is probably going to finish this en tu casa.
Sí.
Okay.
The most important thing is just getting like the flow down, the feel good,
Yeah.
And then we're going to all the details.
Yeah, because once we're on the same page, Lorenzo has that creative freedom of all of the, effects and textures on the application, which is Blender. Because, I don't know any of that. And we just have to align the ideas, and then we could do it. Wow, that looks so good.
Yeah, and now the eye is not popping out from behind. So.
Yeah. So let's watch that intro one more time, because, oh my gosh, it's like the most epic thing I've ever seen. I can't believe how good it turned out. It's literally like so epic. I love it so much. Lorenzo killed it. And so that's only one half of the puzzle of the intro project, we'll kind of classify this video as. And from a really long time ago, before I even moved into the studio, like a year out, I was always thinking about these little elements, because I love to just like fantasize about making things, and I always wanted the intro song to be pretty much based off the Eyewitness theme song. I'm from 1995, like a 90s kid, and a lot of schools played this Eyewitness, National Geographic things, and I'll put some screenshots up. I don't want to play the music because I don't want to get copyrighted, but it's like pretty recognizable if you remember. And so I basically wanted to bite that completely. I'm not like hiding that the song is completely based off that. It's 100% based off that, and I wanted to bite it. I wanted to change it a little so I didn't get copyrighted. So I basically asked my best friend JT, who's actually a guest on the podcast, he's episode 6, to help me dub it. And so we went to his friend's house, Aaron, who's a professional trumpet player, wind instruments. JT's also professional. I needed them to help me because, again, I am not in the realm of music. But we went over to Aaron's house, and it's a really, really epic time.
Big dog.
Justin, Aaron.
Justin.
I can lay down the melody on this.
C, G, A flat, F.
C, G, A flat, F.
So,
So
just for the second time around.
if we have the chords stacked in a way that, like, we invert it so it's like constantly going up.
Oh, hitting it.
So then yeah, so then it's just like that should make sense as a chord. Yeah, sick. Okay, I like that.
Can you change this note to a D?
Oh no, it's good. Let me just sing that real quick. Ah, this sounds ridiculous.
A little bit delayed, you know.
No.
The bimbop.
No. Wait, what? What BBQ? Oh, yeah.
He's looking at the camera.
Supposed to be that photo? Yeah. You looked on my phone.
No, wait, I was just looking over your shoulder and then you. Here's the basic chord.
That was amazing.
Okay, let's hit it. I'm gonna play it. We're gonna hope it sounds right.